This always makes me cry, which is no different than I've always been, right? So the most important thing about that was that we needed to be equally good everywhere. That has always mattered. Yes, hi, I'm Maggie Malloy. I was an employee first of Child Development Centers and then of Child Parent Centers. I was a teacher for a year, education director for about a year, and then for 40 years I was the executive director of Child Parent Centers. So I went to work as a teacher, and I think my hourly rate was $2.10 an hour. And at that time, there were no performance standards for Head Start. There was a book, one book, that was it. One of the things Head Start was very strong on from the very beginning is that parents were powerful because they were parents. And so the public schools then withdrew from providing Head Start services. That money came back to CEO, and with Ron's leadership and CEO's leadership, they decided to delegate all of Head Start in the 5 counties to Child Development Centers, and Child Development Centers became Child Parent Centers at that time, because there had to be a grantee and we were a delegate agency. So the big decision to be made was, would we apply just to become the grantee for Head Start in Tucson, Pima County? You had to do a county. Or would we do the 5 counties? And we said, oh, it's got to be the 5 counties. And so, of course, we were successful in doing that. So we were in churches because churches would let us in, and if we paid the utility bill, they wouldn't charge us any rent. Time for school to start, and a church would kick us out. Well, that's the first time we had morning and afternoon sessions because we had nowhere for the children to go. And then that became our morning afternoon program. And also for us to get out of churches into permanent facilities. So we made the decision to partner with public schools, not to be inside the school because then you could be moved, but to have facilities on school campuses so you could collaborate with the school but not be vulnerable to being moved. And that, I think, has turned out to be a good strategy. The thing that would be different about us and lots of other Head Start programs, we always used a different teaching team in the morning and in the afternoon because we wanted the children the best. And that was how we knew to get the best, is you needed people who were fresh for the children. A big, big deal was, of course, adding home base. Really added to the heart of Head Start because it brought parents in such a powerful way. It also, I think, created the foundation for early Head Start in terms of the relationship with the parent. That those were enormously important things. And Head Start, when it was reauthorized by Congress, Congress looked at the education levels of Head Start and started to put in education requirements. The CDA credential for teachers was huge. And then along came AA degrees, bachelor degrees. So Head Start has professionalized. You know, you can't be good and not work really hard. That's just how it is. It's really important. And you need to have something important to do if you're going to work that hard. And Head Start was really important. What I'm grateful for, because Head Start was my career, my life, for a long time. And I loved it because I got to work with wonderful people, with a diversity of staff that I never would have if I had been just a preschool teacher in a middle class environment. I never would have had the opportunity to work with Mrs. Dixon and Josie Johnson and Adriana Gomez and Teresa Acevedo and all the people who were like me in their values and very, very different from me in their culture. And we got to collaborate, we got to appreciate each other's strengths and weaknesses, we got to grow each other. It's wonderful. It's part of the magic, really is.